Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 9th of March. Confirmed cases of coronavirus climb to 43 in India. Rockets fired as Ashraf Ghani takes oath as Afghanistan president. An Islamist hurled stones and shoes at Women's Day marchers in Pakistan. Now for all the details, India's Health Ministry on Monday confirmed that 43 cases of novel coronavirus infection have been reported in the country so far. Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan, who chaired a high-level meeting over the rising cases of coronavirus in India, said the government is prepared to deal with the situation.
India's Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan on Monday chaired a high-level meeting with Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and other top officials over the rising cases of coronavirus in the country. The number of coronavirus cases in India rose to 43 as 4 more cases were reported from northern Uttar Pradesh province, Jammu and Kashmir, New Delhi and southern Kerala province each. Harsh Vardhan outlined the various measures that are being taken by the states and the centre to prevent the disease's spread, which includes tourist under surveillance, strengthened labs and manpower, and screening of passengers. India mandated universal screening at all airports, major seaports and minor seaports and land borders, given the rise of coronavirus imports.
कल तक हमारे पास 39 पॉजिटिव केसेस थे, अभी आज 4 उसमें केसेस और ऐड हुए हैं, तो अभी हमारे पास 43 पॉजिटिव केसेस, जिसमें से 3 ठीक होकर केरल के जा चुके हैं घर अपने.
Meanwhile, Indian stocks on Monday slumped to their lowest in nearly 17 months, tracking global markets as panic over the economic fallout of the coronavirus outbreak intensified and all prices plummeted to 30%. Globally, the coronavirus has now infected over 107,000 people, claiming more than 3,300 lives and disrupting business supply chains.
2 terrorists were neutralized by security forces in an encounter in Shopian district of India's Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. India blames neighbouring Pakistan of arming and helping terrorists infiltrate across the border to spread unrest in the Kashmir Valley.
Security forces gunned down 2 terrorists in an encounter in Shopian district of India's Jammu and Kashmir on Monday. The encounter broke out as security forces had launched a cordon and search operation in Reban area of Shopian on Monday morning over specific information about the presence of terrorists. Search operations were still underway in the area and the identities of the slain terrorists were being ascertained till the last reports came in.
तो पुलिस, आर्मी, सीआरपीएफ सारे इलाके कॉर्डन कर लिए. आज मॉर्निंग में वहाँ पर फायरिंग शुरू हो गया और इनकाउंटर चला, उसमें 2 मिलिटेंट मारे गए हैं.
India has long blamed neighbouring Pakistan of arming and aiding terrorists to infiltrate across the border to spread unrest in Kashmir Valley. Pakistan, however, denies the allegations.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan President Ashraf Ghani was sworn in for a second term on Monday as his rival Abdullah held a parallel inauguration that could plunge the country deeper into crisis ahead of peace talks with the Taliban. Presidential inauguration ceremony was disrupted by the sound of suspected rockets falling near the palace. Ashraf Ghani continued on with his speech as security rushed to surround him and invitees ran away from the sound. The ceremony was attended by a number of foreign diplomats, including US Special Envoy Zalmay Khalilzad, before the pandemonium erupted. Members of Islamist groups pelted participants of the Women's March with stones, shoes and sticks as they marched through Pakistan's capital on Sunday in support of gender equality to mark International Women's Day. Islamist groups have long opposed such movements in the country, calling them a threat to core values of the society.
Islamists pelted campaigners, including women and men, with stones, shoes and sticks as they marched through Pakistani capital Islamabad on Sunday to mark International Women's Day. The incident happened as a large number of marchers had gathered for the Aurat or Women's March in support of gender equality and against patriarchy and misogyny. Meanwhile, dozens from the Red Mosque Brigade, consisting of several local militant groups, were also staging a rival rally just across from the Women's March venue. To avoid clashes, authorities had erected a tent between the two rallies. Police blocked the Islamists as they tried to break through a cordon to attack the marchers. A police official said no one was injured in the incident.
जो वायलेशन जो है वो उलमा की तरफ से हुई है, उनका टाइम जो था 3 बजे से पहले था और वो 4:30 से 5 बजे तक रहे। ऑल्दो वो कह रहे हैं कि बारिश की वजह से हुआ, लेकिन ये गैर कानूनी है और इस पे इनके खिलाफ एक्शन होगा। दूसरी तरफ से भी प्रोवोकेशन की गई, इश्तियाल अंगेज़ी की गई, कुछ ऐसे नारे लगाए गए जिसकी वजह से ये इश्तियाल में आए और उन्होंने फिर कुछ पथराव किया।
The Islamists had earlier issued threats to the Women's March, accusing them of what they said promoting obscenity. The organizers of Islamabad's Aurat March expressed their disappointment over the lack of security promised to them by the authorities. Meanwhile, marches in Lahore and other parts of the country were reportedly held peacefully amid tight security.
Moving on, a protest was held recently by former employees of Logging and Sawmills Corporation, a subsidiary of the Pakistan government in the illegally occupied region of Pakistan-administered Kashmir. The employees demanded their outstanding salaries and called for an indefinite protest against the corporation if their demands are not met.
Former employees of Logging and Sawmills Corporation, ACLASI, held a demonstration against the authorities for non-payment of their dues in Muzaffarabad city in illegally occupied region of Pakistan-administered Kashmir recently. ACLASI, a government subsidiary, had shut down its operations around 2 years ago. Protesters held a sit-in, highlighting their plight, asking for their pension, while others demanded their outstanding salaries. Their lives, they said, have become nothing short of miserable as they are forced to live in a state of abject poverty and their children are forced to drop out of school.
10 दिन से इस धरने में बैठे हुए कि हमें अदायगी करो और हम वापस घर पर जाएं। तो घर के बड़े मसाइल हैं और अफलास में बड़े मुश्किल मामलात में ये जो हमारे लोग हैं इनकी ज़िंदगियां गुजारना मुश्किल हो गया है।
ACLASI was generating substantial revenue from extraction of timber until the felling of trees was banned in 1997. The company continued to operate till March 2018 and was finally dissolved owing to its liability.
शोभा सेल में काम करता है, मुझे 28 साल सर्विस हुई है। हमें नौकरी से निकाल दिया गया और हमारा प्लाट जो इस्लामाबाद में बड़ा प्लाट था वो बिका, उसको 3 माह से ऊपर हो गए। उसके हमें पैसे भी अकाउंट में आए, हमें अदायगी नहीं हो रही उसकी।
Despite protesting for nearly 2 years now, they alleged that there has been no reprieve in sight and authorities have turned a blind eye.
As novel coronavirus, which originated from China's Wuhan city, is spreading like wildfire globally, people in Bangladeshi capital Dhaka were seen taking measures to avoid the spread. Bangladesh on Sunday reported its first 3 cases of the deadly virus.
People in Bangladesh were seen rushing to buy face masks on Monday after first cases of coronavirus were confirmed in the country a day earlier. The Institute of Epidemiology, Disease Control and Research confirmed on March 8 that 3 cases of COVID-19 or coronavirus were detected in the South Asian country. The affected people aged between 20 and 35 include 2 who returned home from Italy recently. The other was a family member of one of those 2.
গতকালকে টিভিতে দেখেছি 3 জন করোনা ভাইরাসে আক্রান্ত। সেইজন্যই আমরা সতর্ক হয়ে মাস্ক পরছি সবাই।
Meanwhile, Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said her government is prepared to tackle the virus and has urged people not to panic. Authorities in the country have strengthened the screening of travelers and more than 400,000 people have been screened at the airports and other border entry points so far.
বিশ্বব্যাপী এই করোনা ভাইরাসের আক্রান্তে মানুষ এখন ভীত সন্ত্রস্ত, যার পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে গতকালকের বাংলাদেশেও 3 জন করোনা ভাইরাসের রোগী ধরা পড়ে এবং সেই সতর্কতামূলক অবস্থানের জন্য আজকের আমরা সবাই মাস্ক পরার একটা
Experts have warned it may be hard to contain a spread of the illness in densely populated South Asia, where almost all countries have reported the presence of the deadly coronavirus now.
Authorities in India's southern Kerala province began culling of domesticated birds and hens on Sunday as part of government's precautionary measures following the outbreak of bird flu. The outbreak was reported last week.
Authorities in India's southern Kerala province began a 3-day process of culling chickens and other birds on Sunday to contain a bird flu virus of the H5N1 strain after the avian influenza was reported in the area. 2 areas of Kozhikode city reported 2 cases of avian influenza in poultry farms, after which the decision to cull the birds was taken. This is the first case of the bird flu in Kerala after the outbreak in 2016 in Alappuzha. Avian influenza, commonly called bird flu, is an infectious viral disease of birds, especially wild waterfowl such as ducks and geese. Wild birds can carry the virus without showing any symptoms and transmit it to poultry through their feathers or feces.
ഇറച്ചി ഇതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ വ്യാപനമൊക്കെ ഇതോടെ ഈ സ്ഥലത്ത് തന്നെ 1 കിലോമീറ്റർ റേഡിയസിലെല്ലാം നശിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സ്ട്രാറ്റജിയാണ് ഗവൺമെൻറ്റിനുള്ളത്.
Avian flu can spread to humans and can trigger person-to-person transmission, according to experts. Though India has seen nearly half a dozen outbreaks of bird flu in poultry in past 2 decades, no human cases have been reported since at least 2003.
As the celebrations of the Festival of Colours start a week in advance, people in northern Mathura city marked its arrival with a massive annual gathering. People in eastern West Bengal province also celebrated the festival with much fervour.
The famous Banke Bihari temple in Vrindavan town of India's northern Mathura city on Monday witnessed massive gathering on the occasion of Choti Holi, celebrated a day prior to the actual Hindu festival of colours. The temple dedicated to Hindu Lord Krishna was jam-packed with devotees who came from across the country just to witness the annual grandeur during Holi, also known as Indian Festival of Spring. The festival, which is celebrated across India with smearing colours on each other and in many other ways, symbolizes the victory of good over evil and is a day to forget, forgive and rebuild broken relationships.
इससे सुंदर नज़ारा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. हम बचपन से टीवी में, मीडिया में, न्यूज़पेपर में देखते थे कि वृंदावन की होली कैसी होती है. आज हमें पता चला कि वृंदावन की होली कैसी होती है. इसका कोई जोड़ नहीं है और बहुत आनंद, परमानंद है ये. इससे ऊपर का आनंद कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
Meanwhile, a cultural program was also organized as part of Holi celebrations in West Bengal province, where participants, including both adults and children, dressed in traditional attires, sang and danced to the tunes of celebratory music. Holi is an ancient Hindu religious festival, but has also become popular with non-Hindus. The celebrations of the festival start a week in advance and continue till the final day of the festival.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Confirmed cases of coronavirus climb to 43 in India. Rockets fired as Ashraf Ghani takes oath as Afghanistan president. An Islamist hurled stones and shoes at Women's Day marchers in Pakistan. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/AsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.